and it's going to be green light racing here at Monza. Here goes Noah. He's going to try and go wheel to wheel with the leader. Vic, once again, back on the top step. We did say take it easy. Oh my goodness. Sinead's going to go for it here into 14, 15. Side by side, is it going to be Mercedes or is it going to be a BMW?
Hello and welcome back to Season 16 of the Phoenix Sim Sport TCR Championship. And today you join us for Round 6 here at arguably one of the most iconic racing circuits in the world. It is Spa-Francorchamps. And of course, it is Round 6. We are heading into our second half of the season and the standings are looking spicier than ever. But before we go on, my name is Yanis and I'm joined in the commentary box by Arthur as always. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great despite being sick all week. I'm excited to be here at Spa, my third race commentating here this week, so that's going to be very fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you've had 3 races at Spa, at Spa you'd be fine because there's just so much track. There's 7 kilometers per lap, so you barely ever get tired of commentating on a track like this. Similar story for the Nürburgring Nordschleife. That one's got arguably a little bit more track to talk about. But I mean, yeah, it's just such a great circuit. And with all the racing action we've had in both MX5 and Tartus, yeah, you never run out of stuff to talk about. And was it your first time broadcasting a stream this week as well?
Yeah, yesterday with the Tatus cars, which went well compared to the MX5s where I forgot to co-commentate my... No, I forgot to let my co-commentator be heard, so apologies for that. I sound like a schizophrenic there, but yeah. We are quickly sorting some things out regarding his skin, possibly. Either way, Spa, 7 kilometers and 9 meters, despite what the CMRT HUD says. More than 100 meters of elevation change. I really recommend, if you can go here in real life, to go here. I've been here myself for Formula 1 in 24, and then in 25 for both ELMS and the WEC, and wow, that's all I can say. It's amazing. Do recommend some good shoes though, because you have to walk a lot if you want to see almost all of the track. I mean, for example, here at Bruxelles, the corner previous to this, sat there myself. You have a nice view towards the main straight. Now down to Fuon, we're following Tesos Klias, heading to Pifpaf. These C cars are a bit faster than the MX5s earlier. Heavy braking. Sometimes people try to use the curbs, sometimes not, because they can easily unsettle the car. I've been killed there myself quite a few times by cars that have been spun around into Campus Corner, which leads into Paul Frere. Using all of the exit there, Tesos Klias. Very impressive to see. Flat out right now, heading to Blanchimont, a flat out corner here at Spa. One of the final corners as well before we head into the bus stop. I mean, you can see it right now. He heads through there flat out. You didn't see the car there because of the timing tower. Into the final heavy braking zone where we might see quite some overtakes. The bus stop, because there used to be a bus stop here way back into the day before there was a permanent track here. Power down across the finish line. 2:30. Very impressive lap. A purple sector 3. Will anybody be able to beat that? Yes, Krzyzbowski immediately beats that by a 10th. I mean, we're not seeing our championship leader's name here today, which, I mean, is very bad for him actually, because if Krzyzbowski wins, he will have a 90-point lead on Marcel Miku. Oh no, he is here. My mistake. I mean, he unfortunately missed out on some points earlier during the MX5 race. He ran out of fuel the last lap of race 1, and race 2, his entire street's electricity was out, so he unfortunately could not compete there, and yeah, lost out on some points, but he's back here today. Sklias now purple sector as Marcel Miku tries to finish his outlap to hopefully get at least one valid lap in, and then maybe take pole. Of course, he wants to continue on his lead from Christian Grzybowski. The lead right now is 14 points, so it's all about winning and P2s today.
Apologies if I'm a bit quiet because I'm trying to sort out some skin information for the cars. It's yeah, it's a bit of a funky thing. So Arthur, you're gonna have to take this away, mate, for a bit. I know you've done a great job so far. Just keep going.
Yes, I'll keep it going. Marcel Migu right now through Eau Rouge into Radion. Two of the most iconic corners in racing, and especially at Spa. F1 prices there, very expensive to sit, but if you go to an ELMS race or WEC, if you're there on time, you can still find a decent position and you'll see some beautiful moves. I myself saw one of the Alpines during the 6 hours of Spa make a beautiful overtake there. Once you see it with your own eyes, an overtake there. Can life even get better? Maybe, maybe not. Sklias 2 purple sectors so far as Marcel Miku sets a personal best in Sector 1. Heading through Bruxelles, he goes... Tesla Sklias P1 right now. He takes provisional pole. He still has a lap to go with. He has enough fuel. 2:29.6. So he leads by 6/10 from Christian Grzybowski. As Marcel Miku heads through Le Double Gauche or Fouon. Very, very fun corner. These cars will have to lift and brake a bit compared to modern F1 cars, but yeah, heavy braking zone into Piff Path. Marcel Miku staying clear of the curbs there despite these massive TCR cars being able to take them. Probably not lose too much rotation. Into campus, because there's a campus there. Also a karting track, which operates separately from Spa itself. So that's an interesting fact there for you. I mean, where will Marcel Miku finish right now? That's the real question. 229 laps, or let's say 230 race laps. I am a bit too lazy for math right now, but it's around 8 laps racing. I think we're gonna see 8 racing laps, which is still more than enough as Marcel Miku heads through the bus stop. Currently in last place because he hasn't set the valid lap yet. But what will this lap be? Where will he finish? P4, 31.027, 2/10 behind Vasilis Pernetsis right now. Our P3 in the championship, Weber Nurashto, not a valid lap yet though. He's had a 6:54. Which of course is a long lap, but he's going to cross the finish line soon. Right now, even Sklias fastest sector 2. Nurashto up to P7. Very nice from him. As we're on board looking at Sklias right now. First sector, a yellow one, but second sector, a purple one. So that's the best out of everybody. Through Blanchimont he goes into the bus stop, heavy braking. It's the apex there perfectly, very close to the sausage curb. Then again on the second apex, you solve the track on exit. Ooh, he does not improve. And I think he crossed the line when it was already overtime, so no more laps from him. Vasilis Pernetsis right now, also through the bus stop, also his final lap. Again, all of the track he can use there. Doesn't improve. Samuel Beilman. What will he do with the Valvoline car? Or Valvoline? P9, 233.3. Theodore Petru. Ooh, he improves to P7 with a 32. Shinso 33, 3. Anthony Perkin, our favorite dive bomber, he unfortunately missed a few rounds, but he's here yet again. He's already planning his dive bombs into the bus stop, I can already tell. Heavy braking, lots of curb there. Very nice, lots of curb there as well, even taking the sausage curb for extra rotation. Doesn't use all of the exit he can there. No improvements, a 31.8, it stays for P5.
Oh,
Marcel
and
Miku.
Marcel Miku on his final lap as well.
What will he be able to do? No improvements.
Wieben Rashto, though, he's got one final improvement to do, 233.072. He's only got 0.4 to improve on Theodore Petro for P7. And hopefully he can do some stuff. But he's also got Daniel Bermudez to worry about, as well as Ricky Buramos. Samuel Bailman did very well to get himself out of last into P11, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I hope Narashto isn't in. Oh, P6 at 31.8.
Oh, nice.
That's amazing. I mean, Bermudez, P13. And I think, no, only Ricky Baramos and a Cupra. Moves off of the curb early there. Will be P15 still. Either way, I think 15 cars here today. We're gonna have some good racing as we're quickly sorting out the skin, so bear with us for a while.
Yeah, I'm surprised Marcel Miku didn't get up there, to be honest. I would have thought he'd be right up there in qualifying. This is one of the tracks that he said he was fairly confident with. And I mean, to be fair, most people probably know Spa like the back of their hand as well. So that could be the issue. That could potentially be an issue for Marcel Miku. That could be the reason.
The thing I find with Spa is everybody knows the track 100%. The difficult part of Spa is really extracting everything you can out of the car. Because lots of corners like Les Combes, it's just all about being right on the limit of your tires. The slightest difference in line there is a tenth, 2/10, 3/10 already gone in your lap just because you didn't get the right line. So, yeah.
And the thing for touring cars in particular is that they can eat curbs quite well, which obviously at Spa is quite an important factor in gaining time. So for them, it's a factor that's kind of eliminated from anything else that they'd have to deal with. So it's one less factor to deal with, at least for most of these guys. But there's still got to be a way to hit a curb such that it properly upsets your car in a TCR, though, right? Like if you hit it wrong, you're still going to end up in a gravel trap somewhere. But yeah, it tends to be a wee bit more forgiving than any of the other car classes that we do.
Yeah, I mean, I think out of all the cars, TCR, most forgiving. I think then it's MX-5s, they can still be punishable, and then most punishing, I must say, are the Tatus cars.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, open wheel, single seater,
Fragile.
very fragile. Whereas these things, absolutely massive. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting heading into the first corner. So Tesos Sklios starts off on pole position. P2 is going to be Christian Grabowski, followed by Vasilis Panetsis and Marcel Miku on the second row. Your top five being rounded out by Anthony Perkin. Ironically, the position he's at in the championship as well. Currently 146 points puts him in P5. Then got Weber Narashto and Vidu in P6 and P7, and here we go, the lights come on and it is go time. 15 cars go roaring down towards turn 1 to start 45 minutes of racing. Tesos Sklios got off the line well. Marcel Miku has gotten off the line better though, round the outside, and there's a Cooper in the background that's ate some wall there. Tesos Sklios trying to defend hard from the current championship leader, Marcel Miku. Oh dear, things are going wrong. There we go, we finally got the screen going. Technical issues. Tesos Sklios just about trying to hold on to the the race lead here, but Marcel Miku has taken care of that, and there we go. That is Marcel Miku with his signature race start already up into the race lead, but he has got the whole of the Kemmel Straight to try and keep that Renault Megane behind him. The white car is on a rampage still, 0.05 seconds separating the two of them. Marcel Miku dropping slightly back, and looks like TCR has just about managed to clinch the race lead. Back once again on the Kemmel Straight, and you can see just how much tyre smoke Vasilis Benetsis has generated through that slide of turns 5, 6 and 7. Like you were saying, Lacombe Malmedy, all those corners you need to maximise the amount of grip that you get on the tyres and just nail those lines, and it looks like he's nailed the throttle in the process as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to quickly open the track map for Spa with the corner names, because lots of corners, I must say, and then sometimes there's a deviation in names. For example, the corner most famously named No Name, apparently on another map is called Speaker's Corner, and sometimes it's called Jackie X. In my opinion, the most accomplished Belgian driver in the entire history. So yeah, here again it's called Rivage. So
I've got a Speaker's Corner.
Some names.
I think is it turn 9? Just after Brussels?
Yes, turn 9.
Yeah, I've got Speaker's Corner on my track map.
Genuinely, you got No Name, Rivage, Speaker's Corner, Jackie X. I'm keeping it at Jackie X. Some national pride right there. As we see Marcel Miku in the slipstream through Blanchiment, they go right about now. Flat out corner. Marcel Miku taking a bit of curve there. Getting very close to the rear. Into the bus stop. Will he brake later? No, they brake equally, but Marcel Miku stretches his car out a bit more, gets the inside for the second corner, gets squeezed onto the sausage curb, but still manages to hold on to his position. Wow.
That was tight. Up the inside was really good. Managed to hold on to that little bit of racing gap on the inside, and that was it. Did very, very well to hold on to that gap.
Miku's race pace always just amazing to see. He nails it each time, but he's dropping a bit. He's dropping back a bit right now, which is not optimal, but it's a long race. I can see him catch back up.
Yeah, he's got time. But then again, we've seen stuff happen to Marcel Miku in the past in the sprint races. The moment he has some sort of hiccup, like that's his race over pretty much. He struggles to recover from those positions sometimes. We've also got Christian Grzybowski and Shinso currently side by side for P9. Here we go, it's the Cupra on the inside, that's going to be Grzybowski, and then it's the Audi of Shinso who managed to make the move around the outside of the Com for P9. Lovely, lovely stuff, and you can see 3 Audis there, all driving for the same squad, I'm assuming, all here for a nice day out at Spa. There's actually a 4th one there, potentially, and there's contact between Theodore Petru and Shinso as well. There's contact for Christian Grzybowski as well. Utter carnage down at Brussels, turn 8. And that has not gone very well for the blue and yellow cars of Theodore Petru, Shinsu, and all the related parties. Down to P14 he goes.
Sorry if you could hear me clapping. There's some sort of flying bug in my room, but yeah, I mean, Brussels usually can have quite a bit of chaos happen there. I remember arriving 2024 in the morning there on Sunday for F1, and just constantly cars going off there, and that's where I sat the entire weekend pretty much. So a bit of chaos can always unfold there, especially once you go into the gravel. But such a move is sadly pretty unfortunate, as Spowski right now in P10. Not optimal for him, but he sends it down the inside on Jack Smith for P9 right now. Beautiful move. Jack Smith will be falling behind, but he's also getting jumped by P11. I mean, P11 must send it down the inside at Blanchiment. There's no other way as they go through Paul Frère into Blanchiment. Jack Smith loses position to Samuel Baalman. What a voice crack there. I mean, beautiful livery from him, though I must say the Valvoline car just makes it work.
It is a lovely livery, and I think it's the first time we've actually seen the Peugeot out on track this season. We've only had Cupras, we've only had Audis, we've only had Civics, and it's really nice to see a change of pace here. Nice to see the Peugeot out on track. Samuel Bailman doing very well, up from P11 up to P10 and taking advantage of the situation in Jack Smith. And he's now up to P10, and I'm sure he'll be chasing Christian Grzybowski as hard as he can.
Well, I mean, honestly, I'm still waiting to see an Alfa Romeo, because who doesn't love a stylish Italian car, of course. But yeah, up ahead, Sklias leading from Marcel Miku, who's dropping back a bit. Vasilis Bernetsis is getting closer though, but who's getting closest? Weber Nerashto right now to Saverio Piazza. These two have been battling the last 3 races pretty much, and it's been entertaining each time. So yeah, here they go.
These two never fail to
curve.
disappoint when it comes to entertainment. And there it is, the first little fake move up the inside. Saverio Piazza not deviating from his line too much. We've also got Anthony Perkin on the rear end of the ATMS car in P4. Anthony Perkin is another driver that we enjoy watching for his all or nothing attitude. He either full sends it or he doesn't do anything. I can't wait for a full send through Eau Rouge and Red de Lyon, as well as La Source. I can just imagine this guy absolutely sending it up the inside of that Cupra ahead. I can't wait to see it. Here we go though, Weben Rasher around the outside of the Civic, and he's done very well to hold on to that position. Lafan and then into Campus, they're still side by side, and Saverio Piazza doing very well to hold on to his momentum as well. Very good momentum conservation through there, maximising the amount of grip he's got on those tyres. 0.2 seconds on the exit of Stavolo though, turn 15, and here comes the Audi. I think there's contact on the rear end. Very, very close between these two as they make their way now through turn 16 and then turn 17, Blanchimont.
Look at Nerashto hunting down the Italian right now. Blanchimont, they go flat out, of course. Still in the slipstream. I don't think we're going to see a move yet, but maybe a dummy. I mean, he's clearly putting the pressure, but look at that, Theodore Petru just sending it down the inside there, using a bit of sausage curve, and he gets the position.
Oh, we've got Christian Grzybowski joining us.
Joining in, they're going three wide right now, heading to La Source, turn 1. Who will come out on top? Oh. Contact. Poor Nerashto just gets shoved into the locker there and loses 2 positions almost. Spowski still side by side. We're going to see some action into Eau Rouge and Radion right now. Flat out. Here they go. Grzybowski down the inside. Nerashto just edges it ahead and keeps his position. Will they bump draft each other to get close to Piazza right now? No, to Petro even. I forgot this was a 4-way battle. No bump drafting as of yet. Nerashto stays on the racing line. Grzybowski will try to send it down the inside here at Les Combes. Will he make it stick? He's edging ahead and he makes it. The move is made, and then P10, Samuel Baumann, the Peugeot, also getting Nerashto. What a poor man this race, unfortunately. He just keeps getting pressured and pressured and pressured.
That was incredible. Three wide essentially into turn 1, La Source, and then side by side between Grzybowski and Weben Nerashto through Eau Rouge and then Red de Lyon. And Theodore Petru in the meantime just continues extending his lead while these 3 battle, and we've got Samuel Bellman now also applying pressure to the rear end of that great Audi ahead. We've got 0.8 seconds between Anthony Perkins and ATMS still, so nothing there. But Shinso is now on the rear end of Clonoris, one of the Cupras. And look at that, it's a lovely Cupra sandwich. And it's got double the fill-in, double the Audi filling here. Jack Smith and Daniel Bermudez being the Audis, and then Ricky Baramos and Shinso being the bread. 0.2 seconds. Oh, I keep having to jump back and forth because Christian Grzybowski is now right up on the rear end of Theodore Petro as well. Yet another Audi to slay in his quest for P7 and hopefully a top 5 finish, as he has to try and close the gap to the current championship leader Marcel Miku. You can see Shinsu in the small box as well, putting some pressure on the Cupra through Blanchimont. And it is looking very, very tight there, but he does manage to make it stick. I think Shinso is up into P11, does manage to finish that. Oh my goodness, Samuel Bailman I think he's misjudged his braking point slightly, gone straight ahead, and fortunately did not collect any of the cars ahead. But this is a nice little gaggle of 5 cars heading into La Source once again. You can see the Audi looking to the outside. We've been Arashto defending from that move and hopefully looking at a position on Christian Grzybowski, but there's no hope of day there, no hope for a position gained. But we've got the Camel Straight, Eau Rouge and Red de Lyon to fix all that by the time we head up the hill.
I mean, at least we have a nice train of cars here right now, because Tesos Klias is just pulling away from Marcel Miku at the front, so we're not going to see a battle there yet. Bernatsis is getting close though to Marcel Miku, but it's not there yet. Who is there is Theodore Petru, but he backs off into like, oh, what a drift there from Christian Grzybowski though. Beautiful to see. Managed to save that beautifully. Using all of the curb there, some of the cars, others up to stay on onto the tarmac. Grzybowski still leads this pretty long train.
I've just noticed Anthony Perkin has also dropped down to P8. He was right up behind the ATMS car up in P4, so he was P5 initially, and now he's down to P8. I wonder what's happened there. Some sort of contact potentially, an off, some sort of error. I have no clue, but he's now struggling between Theodore Petru and Wiebe Narashto, trying to hold on to that P8 even, as Narashto looks to the outside for Lafan, and there's nothing there, but he's applying some good pressure. And Anthony Perkin, I know him to be a driver that does not buckle under any kind of pressure, who in fact applies pressure rearwards if he can when he's defending from a car. But he's also got to look forward. He's got to look at Theodore Petru. How is he going to get past him to catch up to Christian Grzybowski? How is he going to recover from this issue? Well, he's got 32 minutes to do it. I reckon he's got plenty of time to recover. Do you think we could see him back into the top 5?
Anything can really happen. I mean, it's too early to call in my opinion. All of these drivers have pace, but anything can happen with these battles, as we see Anthony Perkin do another one of his late moves down the inside there. Manages to hold on to position.
Perfect.
Just keeps on amazing us.
Oh, it's the perfect move. And then his signature defense, bringing the car all the way over to the inside of the field. But that's allowed Theodore Petru, though, late braking zone to squeeze his nose in there and maybe put Anthony Perkin off just a little bit. Christian Grzybowski also right up on the rear end of Saverio Piazza now for P5. We were talking about this Cupra earlier. He's making some really good progress through the field now, applying some good pressure to the rear end of that red and white Civic. Wiebe Narashto is also looking to close ground on Theodore Petru as they make their way up the hill. He wants to have this fight with Saverio Piazza at some point in the near future. They've already had one today. He wants another round. He wants round 2, but it doesn't look as though Piazza is going to let go of this position easily. Christian Grzybowski having to work for that, using track limits as much as he can, but it looks as though he's managed to make that stick over the curbs, and he's held on to P5 for now. Piazza close enough to make a move, hence the defense from the white Cupra, but there's no light of day for him there as well. Theodore Petru still on the rear end of Wiebe Narashto too. You can see it in the background there. Samuel Bailman also not too far off that battle and ready to pick up the pieces if something goes wrong.
Exactly, I mean, they're all... I'm glad we have a race pretty much from P5 all the way to P... I mean, not P10, because Narashto unfortunately has quite the gap, but to have all the cars pretty much this close together is still, yeah.
Whoa!
That's
Samuel
what a
Bailman.
move there, Bailman. I don't think the stewards will appreciate that, and especially not Theodore Petru, because, I mean, what was happening there? I'm gonna quickly go to Twitch and see if I can clip it or
yeah, it looked like
really quickly, because
it looked like Petru was trying to squeeze him. Yeah.
Thank you, advertisement. Please, please. I want to be able to see the incident.
In the
3 more
meantime,
seconds.
Daniel Bermudez is on the rear end of Theodore Petro, who we saw go into the gravel just a few corners ago. That Cupra is trying to make some progress up the field, now in P13, heading through Blanchimont. He does seem to have a slight run on the Audi ahead, but he's lost it all through that right-hander. Another battle to keep an eye on, Saverio Piazza, 0.4 seconds off of Christian Grzebowski. He's not quite let go of that gap yet. And another gap to keep an eye on is Marcel Miku and Vasilis Penetsis. Penetsis doing very well to hold on to that 1 second gap. He's still within a second of our current championship leader.
I mean, I've gotten a replay of it via the stream. What happened was, yeah, they tried to squeeze each other. Like, Theodore tried to go back towards the racing line, but Bellman tried to squeeze Theodore towards, you know, the inside of the corner, and yeah, then you get a bit more. The thing is, none of them backed off, so that makes it a bit more difficult. But yeah, incident happened. Stewards will look at it. Yeah.
Bellman definitely came off better though. He still managed to keep his momentum going. He was slightly behind. So yeah, that's a tough one. I'm happy I didn't have to worry about passing judgment on that, because I'm not looking forward to it on behalf of the stewards to look at that incident. It does seem a wee bit messy.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear Theodore was ahead. He had full right to get closer to the racing line. It's just, I think, a bit too much from Bellman. I think he should have backed off once he saw Theodore nearly spin out. But yeah, we continue on with the race. 27 minutes to go. Anthony Perkin right now chasing down Saverio Piazza. Main rival pretty much of Narash through the last few races, who's 2 seconds behind Perkin. Perkin will have the pace, but he's not close enough yet to make a move, sadly.
Yeah, he's gonna have the pace though. He's gonna catch up at some point. Right now, it's a question of when, not if. He's well, is it if? Is that how the expression goes? It's basically it's guaranteed. Yeah, he's going to come by at some point in the near future. He's got the pace in that Audi. Saverio Piazza, he's maybe slightly struggling on pace with these guys in the midfield for the moment, but he's done very well to stay up there though. He's done very well to hold on to P6 for now. And then, of course, he's got Weber Narashto behind Anthony Perkin in P8. You can see that grey Audi in the foreground. That's Narashto. And these two, as we've alluded to multiple times before, they've been magnificent rivals throughout this championship. They've done some absolutely amazing battles against each other. So I can't wait to see those battles flare up once again if Narashto can close that gap. It does depend on how quickly Perkin can dispatch that red Civic ahead of him, because the more they fight, the more they're going to slow down and the closer Narashto can get. And then it turns into a three-way fight, and if Anthony Perkin doesn't get the job done soon, then it might get a wee bit messy for him and the cars behind. But the way I know him, he's going to do a full send dive bomb on that Civic and get the move done really, really quickly.
Good news, I finally killed the bug. Other good news, Vasilis Penetsis getting close to Marcel Miku, it looks like, as we're seeing Shinzo make a move for P9 on Samuel Albert and then into Brussels. Again, contact. I mean, Shinzo had nowhere to go, in my opinion. Beautiful defensive line there from him, I must say. Wow. Into... Ooh. Yeah, that looked a bit more like a lag. Into Fuon. Still Shinzo ahead. Beautiful racecraft from him. I mean, that move down the inside was nice. The defensive line into Jackie X corner, also beautiful. Again, just he positions the car perfectly ahead of the braking zone, and yeah, just keeps it going. Anthony Perkin right now, 5/10 pretty much behind Saverio Piazza, heading to Paul Frère. He's very... Oh, it
well
looks like
done.
we had a mistake there from Piazza as Anthony Perkin just slithers down the inside there into Paul Frère. Just gassing it down Blanchimont and extending the gap. Severio Piazza has to make a dive bomb there, otherwise it doesn't do anything.
That's the best case scenario. That was the best thing that could have happened for Anthony Perkin. And Severio Piazza has got no response to that. Christian Grzybowski looking for a response from Vidu, and he's got one. A very defensive line taken by the Toyota. Shall I say the only Toyota that we've seen all season long. Grzybowski forced to go the long way around the outside of La Source. Tries to go for the cut back. Potential contact there, and they are pretty much side by side now. Once again, for a second there, I thought there was contact. Once again, side by side through a Rouge and Red Lyon. This seems to be Grzybowski's home ground, essentially, through those two corners. He seems very comfortable going side by side, where others might quake in fear for their lives. He just says, never mind, we'll just full send through there. 0.5 seconds between the two. Unfortunately, his exit hasn't allowed him any opportunity on that car ahead, and that sexy Cupra has still got a way to go before it can get past the Toyota.
That was just brilliant there, honestly. Today is an all-timer race. Really, everybody's racing everybody pretty much, and that's always nice to see. Piazza, however, starting to lose out a bit to Anthony Perkin. And Vasilis Burnetz is also, again, time loss to Marcel Miku, who is 7 seconds behind Tesos Klias. So, I wonder what's happening there.
I mean, it could just be that Marcel Miku has finally met his match in this Renault Megane. Speaking of Tesos Klios and the championship standings, Tesos Klios is currently P4, having only attended 2 rounds this season, and he's on 154 points, while Marcel Miku is on 286 points, and he's attended every single race this season. So if he's not careful, Tesos Klios later on in the season might start challenging for the championship standings. Christian Grzybowski is the closest one at the moment, though. He's on 272 points, with Marcel Miku on 286. So that's a 14-point difference. Essentially the difference between a race win and P2. That's the difference between currently Marcel Miku and Christian Grzybowski. It's a smaller gap when it comes to the points difference in the current positions they're at, and in the current positions they're at, Marcel Miku will still gain on Christian Grzybowski, but Tesos Klios will be gaining on all of them. It's only Wiebe Narashto who we need to worry about as well, who's currently in P8, another 3 positions behind. So yeah, really, it's Tesos Klios trying to play catch-up, and then later on in the season, that's really where we'll see this massive battle for the championship lead go down.
I mean, Klios, he started out at Imola, which was supposed to be a 45-minute race, but because there was a low attendance, it was 2 20-minute races. Won the first race, P2 the second one. Last week at Brands Hatch, P1, P6. I'm starting to see a rhythm here that he wins the first race, if there's a first race, and the second race he doesn't win, but still places great. So I think he's going to win again this race. Next week, if he's there, he's going to win again the first race, place a bit worse second race, and it's going to keep on going until the end of the season, which is good to see. But will he be able to catch up to Marcel Miku, though? That's the real question.
And it also depends on Marcel Miku not making a mistake for the rest of the season, which obviously he's not done for the first half of the season. He's made a few mistakes that have cost him positions, race wins, podiums. I mean, if we look at even just last week's race performance, P3 and P4, it almost looked like he had it in the bag there, but due to some really simple mistakes, unfortunately, he just didn't get it. A mistake from Severio Piazza. Speaking of IRL stuff, again, contact. Wiebe Narashto almost into the wall there, still on circuit though, and I think Piazza is allowing him that position because of said contact. Again, like we were saying before, this battle between the two of these guys is absolutely amazing to watch. You can see just the good amount of sportsmanship between them. Yeah, I mean, just a bit of contact. He didn't actually have to give him the position back because he hadn't taken it, but he was up the inside. So I mean, I still see it as a sign of good sportsmanship, regardless. And it's great to see these two battle once again. Narashto up into P7.
Yeah, I mean, that was unfortunate for Piazza there. I mean, I could see already at the exit of No Name, Jackie X corner, that he was losing a bit of time, and then yeah, contact unfortunately. As Grzypowski right now around the outside here at the bus stop on Vittorio on Vide. I thought it was Vittorio Day nearly. Either way, keeps it on track. Slightly misjudged there, but still side by side they go for La Source. Massive defensive line there from the Toyota, but the Cupra doesn't give up, rejoins at the racing line. Tries to switch back, doesn't work. Are we going to see some bump drafting here?
I'm not sure, because Christian Grzypowski likes to go side by side into Eau Rouge, his favourite two corners on the track. Contact with a wall on entry, though, slightly slowed him down. That could potentially benefit his exit. He seems to keep it a lot more tidy through there, and he's had a really good run through there. This could be it. Vidu potentially conceding the position. He's done nothing wrong, but it's been a better line for Christian Grzypowski. He's had a better line through Eau Rouge and Lyon. Under braking, though, is the question as to whether he can hold on to that position. No, Vidu does stream ahead in a plume of tyre smoke and just about holds on to it into turn 5, but through turn 6 and 7 he's lost that due to, of course, that plume of tyre smoke. He's on the offensive, though, for Brussels. Up the inside he goes once again, braking really, really deep. Does that give Grzypowski any foothold? No, it doesn't. And the Toyota is still miraculously ahead of Christian Grzypowski. And of course, while these two fight, Anthony Perkin ever closer. Now 2.5 seconds. He's gained almost a second on these two since they started fighting. Into the double left-hander of Double Gauche. Turns 10 and 11. Still some good pressure from that white Cupra behind. A move at any point in the near future could change the course of the race for Christian Grzypowski and Anthony Perkin and Vidu.
I mean, Vidu is really using all of the track to defend. I mean, putting pressure everywhere. If I was Grzypowski right now, I would just try and make the latest move down the inside somewhere. Possibly the bus stop, but not anymore, since he hits the gravel there and loses quite a bit of time and quite a bit of speed, which is important for Sector 3. I mean, it's almost only flat out. You head through campus, then Sector 3 starts, and you only brake at the bus stop. The rest is just pure gas. Grzypowski lost. Ooh, that's a second loss there, just because of hitting the gravel. But I think he will have the pace to catch back up and hopefully make a move.
It's then a question as well as to whether Anthony Perkin has the same pace as the Cupra, because then by the time he gets up to the rear end of that red and white Yaris ahead, then he's got Anthony Perkin potentially right up his bum as well, which could make things very, very interesting for P4. P3 is quite a ways ahead, so podium positions, something would have to go wrong up in the top 3 for something to happen there, because those guys, yeah, they've got a lot happening there.
It's empty.
Yeah. 20 seconds. It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. Grzypowski again showing his pace though, and back within a second of Vide. That battle's going to be very interesting the entire race long, you know. Not giving up at all, neither of them.
Yeah, this is one of those battles where potentially something could go horrendously wrong, because we know both drivers are very, very committed to getting the better position. They are going to fight at it with everything they've got, and they've got Anthony Perkin behind them as well, who, if there was a way to go more than 100% and go 110%, 120%, that's Anthony Perkin. Somehow he just always has a little extra to add on top of the full effort that he's given it as usual. And yeah, as we were saying, Christian Grzypowski now within 2/10 of the Toyota, just ahead, heading into Le Fan turns 12 and 13. Within 3/10, he's got 2.4 seconds to Anthony Perkin behind. A little bit of leeway to the car behind to fight But of course, yeah, if Vito holds him up too much, Perkin is going to close that gap and take away P5.
I mean, what Grzypowski has to do is signal he's going, for example, towards the left side of Vito. Vito has to cover that off, and then he has to just send it towards the right side. Even if he's at the white line at the right-hand side for a right-hand turn, he has to do it. That's... Whoa! Bit of airtime there for Vito, 2 tires. But here goes Christian Grzypowski. Around the outside, the Toyota extends it just towards the apex, but the Cooper just powers through into P4. Will we see a move from Vito though? Down the inside at La Source. We're seeing a bit of slipstreaming. Power is down. Are we going to see... No move towards the inside. I mean, it's very easy to catch a car off guard that way. I'm surprised we're not seeing that.
I think he's just going for cutbacks.
Yeah. I mean, slipstream towards Eau Rouge though. Massive uphill section. Look at them go. Ooh. I mean,
think that's Vito with a better line.
Sliding. That might have been a cut. I don't know if how that would be counted, but yeah.
Oh, I think Christian Grzypowski's done it. Unless Vito can pull off a massive send up the inside, Anthony Perkins style, to take away P4 and continue this battle. But I'm surprised really that Anthony Perkin hasn't caught up more to the rear end of these two, because they've had some absolutely massive battles, yet he's still 2.4 seconds back. It's mad, really.
That got very close there.
I had the sharp intake of breath, yeah.
Through Jackie X, they go clean exit, both of them. We still see Perkin trailing behind, then Weber and Rash though. Looking pretty empty right now. Shinzo 1 second behind Severio Piazza, catching up ever so slightly. Bellman in P10, 6 seconds behind though. Petru 8 seconds behind Bellman though, so that incident really cost him quite a bit. Yeah, Shinzo right now very close all of a sudden. Heavy braking into Le Fagny, or just Fagny. I think it's just Fagny. So we're heading to campus. Defensive line there from Piazza in the Honda. The Audi does not give up though. Takes all of the exit there. I think we're going to see a move even before Blanchimont at this pace.
Yeah, that Civic's taken a really good defensive line through there, trying to maintain his momentum, but there's nothing you can do against an Audi that somehow manages to preserve every last bit of his energy and gets past by the time we get to Blanchimont and keeps it a clean line through there. But of course, we've got Severio Piazza in the driver's seat of that Civic. Late break-in might get him the position here. It's a late look up the inside, just about gets the car stopped in time, and somehow there's no contact between those two. But something that's maybe happened. Anthony Perkin and Vidu now side by side through La Source. We did not see this coming. It seems as though Vidu had some sort of mistake, some sort of error. He's dropped back from Christian Grzypowski down to about 4 seconds behind him. Anthony Perkin now right up alongside him through a Rouge and Blanchimont. Oh, no, it's not Blanchimont. There we go, the Toyota.
Unstoppable move versus
Just
immovable
about.
object.
Woo! You take over. I can't watch this.
I mean, in my opinion, it's an unmovable object in the form of Vida versus an unstoppable object. Anthony Perkin, I mean, we saw how that played out, just cutting through the grass. Whoa! I mean, I must say, Perkin has kept it very clean. He stays in his line, he gives space. Vida, however, loves to pressure, and I mean pressure. That's something Naresto is giving Perkin right now. Around the outside here at Brussels, doesn't make it stick as they're heading through Jackie X right now. Bit of a light flashing there from Perkin towards Vida. He is not happy, and he will show that by some very beautiful moves later on. I can promise you that he does not give up. 10 minutes to go. He will get that P5 somehow. It's in his soul. It's in his mind, and yeah, it will be on your screens very shortly as Naresto still puts the pressure on. I mean, Also not giving up for that P6.
Yikes. Full send from both of them. That was 170%, I would say, from Vidu and Anthony Perkin. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you put two drives like that on Eau Rouge and Red de Lyon, not Blanchimont. And that's what happens. You almost have a Toyota Yaris flattened against a barrier and a Audi sideways into one going at about 200 kilometers an hour. It's scary stuff. But we'll see those two battle again. Like you said, I'm sure we'll see these two have a go at each other again. We've been Narasho doesn't quite have the pace to get past and, you know, hold that position on an overtake, I believe. I think he's just waiting for some sort of massive crash between these two and then he can just pick up the pieces. Or a dodgy exit, as we see now from Anthony Perkin. Weeben Narasho gets the power down very nicely into the braking zone. They're side by side. The 97 just about ahead by the time they get to the apex, and Anthony Perkin loses out to him for just a second. It's a cutback from the grey Audi on the other grey Audi, heading once again into Eau Rouge side by side. This is where we saw Anthony Perkin and Vidu bang heads earlier, but Weeben Narasho has the wisdom, he has the clarity to hold back just a little bit and optimize his exit instead out onto the Camel Straights. Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor.
I mean, one lap ago when I saw that Toyota dart across the grass there at the Eau Rouge, I thought it was going to take out Perkin as well, so that's where I was most scared at that point. But Perkin right now, yeah, the battle with Narasho is clearly costing him. I mean, we know he has the pace, but yeah, he just has to push, keep going, as Vida sometimes makes mistakes, plus Perkin has a bit more pace, as we saw a bit of lag there. Cartel.
Ooh. Yeah, a lot of connection issues.
That's going to be very, very scary for Perkin.
I mean, he's a man of steel. He's made moves that no other human being dared do up into Eau Rouge and Red de Lyon. I don't think it'll phase him at all in the slightest, but the driver that might be phasing him slightly is Weeben Narasho, applying some pressure behind. And yeah, a little mistake from Anthony Perkin. It's costing him time on Vidu, as we were talking about earlier. Somehow, Narasho is, yeah, he's putting some pressure on him and costing him quite a bit on the exits. He's struggling there as well. Anthony Perkin on a bad exit. Here comes Weeben Narasho, 0.2 seconds. Weeben Narasho, there we go, up the inside through the right-hander. Can he get ahead by the time they get to Blanchimont? It looks like he's ahead just ever so slightly, but he's still got that Audi up the inside of him. Anthony Perkins on the inside of you at Blanchimont. Not quite your favourite position to be. Both cars off the course, and somehow they both survive. Weeben Narasho, probably some form of life flashing before his eyes as he exits turn 17, and he's still somehow alive. Anthony Perkins still holds on to P6.
Yeah, I mean, going wide there, you can easily go to the grass, and there's a slight curb there down the inside before you hit like the little straight for the bus stop. Once drove over that with an Audi GT3, and I can say my car was flying, so luckily that didn't happen here today, but it did cost Perkin quite a bit, 2.5 seconds right now, as Theodore Petru will go at it yet again with Baumann, hopefully this time successfully and without being crashed out. So will it work? That's the real question. Heading down away from La Source to Eau Rouge, looking here from the top of the hill at the grandstand. Still a bit too far.
Ooh.
As Baumann just cuts through there. I mean, loses him a bit of time. We're gonna see a move happen into Lecom as we see Theodore behind right now, pulling out off the racing line down the inside. Stays off the line completely and takes the position away from Baumann, who tries to cut back at him through the inside. They're glued to each other, but the Peugeot just stays behind. Nice defensive line there from Theodore. He managed to keep holding on. Bellman using a bit of grass there. That will not help him. Gets washed out wide through Jackie X. No gravel taken by either of them. Running down to Le Double Gauche Fouon. Yeah, and Theodore right now is starting to slightly extend his position.
Yeah, I mean, Theodore Petru doing very well to get past Bellman. Fortunately, no drama this time, especially compared to the first time. But, I mean, I feel like we've not really talked about our top three much. Tesos Sklios has just been quietly doing his thing up at the top of the grid. 11 seconds ahead of our current championship leader, Marcel Miku, in P2. And then P3, Vasilis Penetsis, who I think, even though we've not really seen too much from him, he's done really well today. He's up in P3 at the moment, and he's keeping pace with that blue Civic ahead. He's only 1.5 seconds behind him after, 40 minutes of driving? That's very impressive considering the pace on that blue Civic usually. I mean, in terms of positions gained, he's pretty much where he started. So it's just been a great weekend for Penetsis all round. Qualifying, starting P3. Now he's on the bottom step of the podium as well, chasing Marcel Miku and gaining slightly as he makes a mistake. He could potentially even be looking at a P2 if the mistake from Marcel Miku was big enough.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, either way, it will be a beautiful podium for him. Look at how much they pulled away from P4. Christian Grzybowski right now is pulling away from Vide. I mean, yeah, what more can you say? They're all holding pace. I think Penetsis, yeah, just waiting for Miku to make a mistake. And if Miku does make a mistake, excuse me there, just holding on to P3, which is also a beautiful position in and of itself. As he hits the bump there, slight jump from him. Running wide, that one does that, unfortunately. But yeah, through Piff Path into the next corner. Yeah, just casually driving. I mean, if I was him right now, 2 more minutes, it's the penultimate lap pretty much. I just drive slowly, casually, not a care in the world. Just drive the car home to a safe podium.
22 seconds to Christian Grzybowski. He's got a very comfortable position. Christian Grzybowski himself not too happy with the situation. He's lost 2 positions from where he started. Currently in P4, he started on the front row of the grid. Marcel Miku gained quite well. He's gone up 2 positions. Anthony Perkin, he just needs to make that position on Vida, and he's back to where he started. Vida, in the meantime, great performance from him as well, up 2 positions from where he started in P7.
That gravel will have helped Anthony Perkin massively. I mean, it's the penultimate lap right now. Can still make it work. The dream's not over. He's using all the track there through Blanchimont at the entrance there. Everything at the exit. Will he send it down the inside right here? No, he stays behind for now, but he extends his braking zone just ever so slightly, sending, not yet sending it down the inside there. The Toyota graciously takes that. Is running into the final lap of racing at Spa. Final time this week. We see this view. Toyota still leads in P5 from Anthony Perkin as Narashto sends it down the inside as well. I mean, Perkin P7 right now. He will not like this. Vide will just walk away with this at this pace.
Oh, he's gotten so close. He had an opportunity there, but he was forced to go around the outside of the bus stop. And now he's got Wibin Arasho to deal with as well. He's had a good run through there, and he's got the slipstream. Anthony Perkin looking for an opportunity here. Wibin Arashto, though, also not too far off of the Toyota ahead. So it's still potential for some action heading into the final couple corners of the racetrack. But in the first couple corners, it is tight between Anthony Perkin and Wibin Arashto. Not an inch left between these two. Perkin doing very well to give him just enough space to exist on the racing course, and he takes the defensive line into Brussels to cover off the 97, and he's done well to hold on to that position for now, but that doesn't stop Narashto from trying to get the inside line for the next left-hander. Good momentum conservation, but there's nothing he can do. That Audi has gone wide into the gravel, though, and that allows Narashto back into this fight for P6. Massive, massive battle between the two Audis now for P6. In the meantime, Vidu just runs away with P5. And unfortunately, Narashto has lost out to Anthony Perkin once more.
I must say, Perkin is a very, very harsh racer. If he can push you, he pushes you. If he can dive from you, he dive from you. But he's fair. He still leaves space. He still thinks about his competitor. And that's what makes it so beautiful. As Sklias wins this race here at Spa. We see a bit of a lag up ahead there and the drift from Wiede. But Sklias wins. Marcel Miku quite a long way around behind P2. Vasilis Bernetsis P3. But Weber Narashto right now wants to get that P6. Wiede ahead of them. Bit of contact there before Blanchimont. Both of them want that position so badly. Through Blanchimont, Narashto gets sent a bit wide there by Anthony Perkin. Who will come out of ahead through the bus stop? Narashto has the inside line. He takes it. Narashto P6. Krzyzewski finishes P4. Wiede P5. Narashto P6. Perkin P7. What a heartbreak from him. Shinzo P8. What a great race there. Piazza. Oh, bit of lag there. Piazza right now through the bus stop. 28 seconds behind, unfortunately. Or 18, or 15, or whatever the game wants it to be. P9. As we get Theodore Petru out of Bijlman after their incident. P10. P9 for Bijlman. As Clonaris will finish his Cupra after hitting the wall lap 1 before turn 1. Still finishes P11 with Daniel Bermudez P12.
Wow. Racing to the line. I can't believe Narashto did it. Because it's not like... I mean, we've seen some incredible battles from Narashto in the past with Piazza, but up against a guy like Anthony Perkin, I expected there to be utter carnage between those two. I expected Perkins to give it 200%, but I mean, he only had about 170% to give. He didn't have as much at his the words elude me again. He didn't have much to hand when it came to the cards being dealt. He couldn't really defend too hard from Weber Narashto. I mean, it's also down to tyre degradation, potentially. Maybe Narashto had just been taking care of his tyres better, and in the second half, that's really where he came to shine. And Anthony Perkin maybe pushed his tyres a bit too much in the first half, suffering from the degradation and the lack of performance there. That's the only reason I can imagine Perkin struggling against Narashto. But congratulations to Narashto for P6, though.
I mean, the thing with Narashto is he's not a slow driver. He's not the fastest driver. But when he can make it count, he makes it count. And that's what he showed here today. And that was just beautiful. I mean, Spa, as boring as it might be in F1 lately, anything else just delivers each and every single time. And man, am I happy to have called 3 races here just this week alone. So, wow.
Incredible. And I mean, incredible job to Tesos Klios as well. Feels like we've been talking about everyone except the drivers that have taken the race win and the podium finishing positions. Huge congratulations to Tesos Klios for the race win. Marcel Miku on his P2 and Vasilis Penetsis on his P3. That's his third podium of the season so far. He's done very well. He's actually been on a bit of a streak lately. 3 podiums in the last 3 races. It was round 4, round 5, and now round 6 he's got another podium. And we have some drivers joining us in the commentary box. It's our usual, well, one of our usuals, Marcel Miku joining us. And we've got Tesos Klios and Weber Narashto joining us. Welcome, boys. Congratulations on the win, Klios.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. It's been a great race for me.
Mate, you were just absolutely dominant. Like there was a point at which I was worried because we hadn't spoken enough about you. Like you were just so dominant. It was just super quiet up at the front. All the action was behind you between Weber Narasto and Anthony Perkin Narasto. That was an absolutely brilliant fight to the end, to the line there. Congratulations on the P6. How did you do that?
Well, that was one of the more chaotic races I've driven, just because how strong the slipstream is. So basically, if you get a good run coming out of the source, you can pass the car in front like halfway down the camel straight. But then if you pull too far ahead, the other car can just basically slipstream you back pass before they come. So like the slipstream, I think whether I don't know why that is so effective, that just made the race very, very exciting.
Yeah, it seemed as though there were kind of these small little niche things that the TCR cars kind of force you to notice and to kind of take advantage of. If you didn't, then it would be very difficult to gain on the car ahead. And Marcel Mika, it seemed as though you maybe struggled to get the pace out of the car today compared to previous weeks. What's happened today? Is it just not been a very good practice session for you leading up to this?
To be honest, this car's just practically draining all of my sanity at this point. I'm practically trying everything I can to try to stop this damn weight transfer spin, and it's still not working.
Setup issues still not being resolved then.
Yeah, they probably won't be. I'm gonna be lucky if I can even finish this damn series before I'm gonna be forced to resign.
I mean, what would force you to resign from setup issues though? Would it just be mental breakdown, pretty much, or yeah? Well, what's with the claim?
This thing's just taking all my sanity. It's just a handful to drive, and I'm getting understeer, oversteer. I just can't get it right.
Everything except neutral steer.
I mean, like the issue is, like, I'm I have to underdrive the car deliberately. I never do, but this class I have to deliberately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not done you too bad though. You're still in the championship lead for now, and you've done well at limiting the damage that TCR Sklias has been doing to your championship lead. However, Sklias, you're doing very well to bite into that lead. You've gained another 50 points. You gained on Marcel Miku by 14 points this race, but you've still got quite a ways to catch up. Do you reckon you can catch him before the end of the championship?
I think that's going to be super tough. Marcel is extremely quick, and even on days like today that he qualified unusually lower than the top three, he always finds a way to limit the damage. And given the fact that I joined the championship a bit late in the season and I've lost the first 3 rounds, I don't think I have many chances, but I'll do my best.
Well, I mean, you've been doing an absolutely brilliant job so far. 2 race wins to your name, now 3 in the last 3 races. It's been utterly unstoppable from you recently. Do you see anyone else potentially in this championship also challenging you to maybe the championship victory here? Maybe someone like Christian Grzybowski or Anthony Perkin?
Yeah, definitely. Christian Grzybowski was super unlucky today. He had PC issues and on the start, and but we really cannot exclude him. His race pace usually is extraordinary, and he's definitely in the play. And I think it's more likely that we might fight for the second position. I'm not sure if we will be able to challenge Marcel too much, to be honest, but I promise I will not go down easily, and we've been having some great battles so far this season, so I hope this keeps up.
Absolutely. It's been very, very entertaining for us. It's been great to see someone challenge Marcel Miku for once. I mean, last season he was also utterly dominant, but Penko just managed to keep the consistency going to take the championship victory. Any questions from you, Arthur?
No, I mean, at the front of the field, I mean, there was nothing really to be said because both you and Miku had blinding pace compared to the rest of the field, and you can see a lot there. I must say, Narashto, what a move in the final lap. I must really congratulate you on your race, man.
Yeah, thank you. But I did run very wide at Blanchimont, but that was because we made contact 3 laps ago there. So, well, I think Perkin was on the inside end because that corner, the line basically drips wide because of lack of downforce in TCR cars. So yeah, that bumped me into the gravel. But then that let Vida, who run away a bit, but then Perkin had or caught Vida on the penultimate lap again because Vida had some quite serious internet issues, I think, at the end of the race. So he was keeping, he kept lagging backwards and forwards. So basically that held up Perkin, and then on the final lap, Perkin basically tried to go for the cutback, but then he hit the inside wall at turn 1. So I avoided him by about 5 millimeters because I was just on the racing line. So yeah, that was almost disastrous. But then he passed me basically using the stream in front of Lake Com, and then I noticed that Perkin is always very slow in turn 14. So it's the corner, the 90-degree right hander after the pith path. But then that corner is extremely important because from then on, it's basically full throttle all the way on down to the bus stop. So, but every lap, he just gets a whole exit out of there. So that's why I keep getting good runs, and we keep going side by side at Blanchimont. So I decided to just drive myself off to make sure we don't make contact again. So yeah, I don't know how or whether you caught it on stream, but I was probably way off the track limits. But that was because I was trying to leave as much space as I can, because we had contact there 3 laps ago. But yeah, and then I brake extremely late into the final bus stop chicane. I was thinking I might not make the corner, but somehow I made it. So I'm happy about the P6. Very happy about it.
I mean, it was some AC camera work at Blanchimont there. Unfortunately, we could see you going wide, but not how wide, unfortunately. But still, yeah, great racing, and that's all for me here today.
So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up round 6. The second half of the season is now well underway, and the championship standings, as always, getting spicier and spicier as we head towards the end of the season. Tesos Klios is currently chasing down Marcel Miku in the championship standings, eating 14 points out of his lead. Any final words from you three?
I just want to say thank you for the great race. I'm really looking, and thank you for the job you guys are doing with the commentary. I hope next week you'll showcase our new livery. I'm really looking forward to that, and best of luck to Marcel, Christian, Pernedzis, and all the guys in the championship. And I'll see you all on the next one.
Excellent. Miku, Narashto, any final words?
Good night.
Don't have much to say, really.
Cool. Right, well, we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for joining us at Phoenix Sim Sports for yet another race here at TCR Season 16. And join us next week for, I believe, Yokohama Round 7, being kicked off as usual at 9 p.m. GMT.
That's not the track.
Okoyama? Round 7?
Okayama,
Did you not say
that's what it is.
Yokohama?
Yeah,
Okayama.
I'm tired. All right, I'm tired. It's a tire brand. It was close enough. It sounds the same thing. At least I didn't say Yamaha. But anyways, join us for that, 9 p.m. GMT. Join us for some end-of-week entertainment as we try and dial down the excitement from the work week and then dial up the excitement again for the race week. We've got some more racing action over the weekend. We've got ACC and Le Mans Ultimate on Saturday and Sunday as usual. And then, of course, next week, all over at Okayama for our Tartus, our MX-5 and our TCR championships, all hitting the same track, but at different times, of course. Tartus on Thursday nights, MX-5 earlier on Friday nights, and then TCR later on Friday nights, 9 p.m. GMT. I don't know the other time zones for the other cars and the other championships, but do join us for all of that. You can find all the information on our Discord server or over on our SimGrid server, or just take the timings from the Twitch channel, and then you can see what time it starts there as well. But anyways, join us for that, and we'll see you all later. This has been Yanis, this has been Arthur, this has been Phoenix Sim Sports, and we've had Tesos, Miku, and Narashto all up in the commentary box with us tonight, and we'll see you all later at Okayama next week. See you later, good night.